Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live! Filmed in beautiful Burlington, North Carolina in front of a live studio audience. Let's hear it for our host, our President and CEO, Andy Albright!
All righty. Yeah, baby! All right, y'all grab a seat. We got a few things to cover today. Got some people I want to meet, talk to. Got my boy back there in the back. Y'all book any appointments? How many? 5 total? Divided up between you and him, or you book them all? Do what? He's cheering you on? My son's in the back of the room, and he booked him and his, well, I should say Adrian booked 5 appointments, and my son's back there sitting with her. That's a good job, son. Way to go, boy. Proud of you. You too, Adrian. All right, so we got some great people in the room. I got a lot to cover. What I want to get down to is, I think it's time that we blow this business up and we get like, I'm struggling between the way, what do I say? Be the best you can be, or let's get hog nasty stinking rich. I'm trying to decide. You know what I'm saying? Get rich. Be the best you can be. It's not so materialism, but being the best person you can be. Like a lot of people, they competing against their neighbors. If I was competing against my neighbors in Union Ridge, North Carolina, where I live, I'd have quit a long time ago. I'd have done one. You know what I mean? But how good can I be? And then in Burlington, you know, I mean, you're in the elite of Burlington. Who cares about that? I got to keep going. 2 reasons. One, I know I can be better, but I compare myself to people that are doing really good. You with me? Like bigger than life, like 747 private jets, that sort of thing. That's who I want to catch them. I'm not like upset about it. I'm just like I'm not quitting. I'm not sitting down. Does that make sense? But I think it's time we do it. So I'm going to get down. I'm going to talk to. I want to talk to you a little bit, Josh. You are Josh, right? And Ed, I'm going to remind you of stuff I've said to you. And Spencer, Jacob, Chelsea, Handy, I want you guys, and as that looks like the cater team over there, I want to explain to you how to get people started. Guaranteed 3 ways that you just cannot mess this up as far as building a residual income. Okay, just big. Tia, you and Terry, I want to just talk right at you. From the heart, how I feel about it, how I know that works. And I want to say I've proven that it works because of the results, the fruit on the tree, what I've done. You can talk about, guess what Andy done? You pick out some wrong stuff with me. I know I'm not perfect. That's not like news to me. But on the other hand, you can't argue with the size of my group and the money that it's poured in, and the money that I've been able to give away to Tim Goad, and the money I've been able to give away to NC State, and the money I've been able to put into India and Africa and other countries that I've just, you can't argue with the money I spent hunting in Africa too, you know what I'm saying? And the cars, Ferraris and Lamborghinis, you can't argue with that. You can't be like, I don't think he did it. No, this is done. You know? Okay. We are doing an Alaskan cruise that is still on track. I want to add some people. Letitia Clark has now won. Mimi Romero has now won. By the way, Mimi is just on fire. I mean, she is just, I'm real impressed with what she's doing. Megan Wood is now in the house. Diane Lampy in the house, of course. Tim Tipton, he's been killing it with IULs. Let's put Tim in there. Mike and Noel Leventovich, of course. Andy Riddle, of course. And Stephen and Holly Davies, of course. Hey, you know what? What I ought to do is, Billy, can you pull up the leaderboard for the cruise and see who's? I want to kind of show this. This is some. You got a lot of time. Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, let's look at this. So right now, the points leading the points for I can't. This is not operating for me, bro. Oh, you know what? I know how to do it. I remember. All right, Brandon Beal. That's Brandon Beal. I just know who that is. That who that is? You hired him, Ed Soto. You hired him. So he's leading the country with points. All you need is 115,000 to win. Swindale is number 2 in the country. Minerve, let me just see how many we got here. Robert Wilson, Megan, Michelle. We have had 16 people have already earned the trip. Here we are, not quite halfway through. And then, and look, Travis Graham, not too far right there, number 17. Let's see how many people. What we do is, when we put out the leaderboards, if these are not posted yet, they'll be posted on band, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time with them. 128 couples are on track to win an all-expense-paid cruise to in Alaska, going down the Inner Passage. So that would give us massive numbers. And the manager, who's won the manager, like Leventovich is not on here, Davies is not on here. They're on another leaderboard that I don't have. So there's more than 120 people, 128. And by the way, everybody gets 1 + 1. So your spouse, if you're not married, you can take your mama or your daddy or your uncle or somebody. And so that's a big number of people. And by the way, we pay for your plane flight, transportation from the plane to the cruise, drinks, food, outings, gifts. It is first class. You should win this. So, and 200,000 gets you an extension to a beautiful setting in Seattle, Washington, which is where the cruise ship takes off from. So we're going to stay a few days out there. So anyway, so that's underway. Good Samaritan bonus. We hadn't done a lot with that lately. Let's go. Can you pull the Good Samaritan bonus up? The way we do Good Samaritan bonus, Josh, this is not like a recruiting thing. This is just like a situation that came up. I give a lot of money away. NC State, my preachers, other charities I just give money to. And I was wondering what everybody wanted, Ron, what did I want to give my money to? What do you think? And then I thought, why would I care what you think if you're not doing anything, right? So we came up with a program. We said, you pay $5,000 in a month for this year. We might change it next year. You do $5,000, we'll give you $25 to any charity that you pick. So you don't have to give nothing. I'll write the check to your charity. And then if you write $50,000 in a month, we'll put $250 towards your charity. So right now, let's see if I can show you who's winning it. Right now, we have $51,000 tied up that we're planning on giving away at the end of the year. Robert Wilson has $650 that he is going to give to this charity, undecided. Okay? What we need for you to do, Robert Wilson, is to let Mac Hefner know, or let some of our media team know who you want this charity to get $650. We're going to give all this $51,000. We're going to give it away at our national convention in January, and we would like for the lead of your charity to be there to get this check and you to give them. And, Robert Wilson, if you want to match it, if you want to write a bigger check, you can get. Most companies say, if you give money, we'll match it. And we're saying, we'll just give the money, you don't have to. But if you want to match it or double it or triple it, that'd be awesome too. So you got to start thinking ahead if you want to give some money too. Brant Swindale has $600 earmarked toward a charity, Minerve, Michelle Alleman. So all this money is stacking up. Marcus Richardson, Sharon Barnhart, Kimberly Spinelli Young, Mark Hutchinson, James Hill, Michael Hartland, $400. So all these people have all this money going to charities, over $51,000 so far that we've got dedicated coming in. So these people, $150. So when we took it all, there's some people that actually have $25. We took it all the way down to $150. There's 144 people that have at least $150 that we're saving up to give to a charity. So every month you earn money to the charity you want, depending on how much you sell that month. Okay? All right, so that's kind of cool. We'd like to give away $135,000 this year to charities, but we need to pick up the pace, which is kind of crazy. Like, if y'all could make a little more money, we would give more money to charities in your name.
Right, that's right.
Pretty tricky right there. All right, so there's a lot more going on. There's a lot of leaderboards going on, a number of recruits. Andy Riddle's kicking butt recruiting. We got the Power of 10. I'm not going to spend it. I want to get more into leaderboards, but we're going to just say we'll put them on band, and you can take a look at them. Let's see, next week's the 4th of July week, right? And then the following week, I'm going to hit the road. I'm going up to Detroit, Michigan on Monday night. I'll be doing a presentation. So if you know people in Detroit, or you have downline that know people in Detroit, if you want to run ads in Detroit, I'll be up there doing a seminar. And then Tuesday morning, I'll do a training session for everybody. Then I'm in Clark, New Jersey on Tuesday night. Same thing, opportunity meeting, training next morning. Wednesday night, I'll be in Lakeland, Florida, and Thursday night, I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia. So there's the dates. So 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. And I've got a plane full. I've got Billy Crane is riding with us, Michael Owens, Greg Cook out of Justin Balick's organization, Chris Hill, Rebecca Lixie, Jacob Collier, and Daniel Gray. That's a plane full, right? 9 people on a plane, so it's going to be kind of crazy. We might have to stop for gas on the way down to Lakeland from New Jersey. That's a long haul, that many people, a lot of luggage. Okay. The only other big date I want to throw out there is make sure everybody knows that we're having a family reunion. If you're signed up with us and you're in class, we consider you part of the family. We're going to do this July 18, 19, 20, and 21. So it gets started on Thursday. Thursday, we're doing a Delivering the Difference with Foresters. I think we're shooting for a record number of free meals that we're going to assemble. If you've never done it, it's pretty cool because they bring in 50-pound bags of pre-cooked. It's like freeze-dried, pre-cooked pinto beans and rice and corn, and then you mix it up and make this package of food that you don't have to bring the water to a complete boil to cook it. People can cook it with low heat, so it doesn't take it's really cheap for them to have a great fresh meal. And it's over 100,000 meals I think we're putting together. But the crazy thing is Jeff Bright has put together a game. So 2 of you are solving the game, and the other ones of you are packing food. And so then you had to rotate around, and you have to get through all the questions, and it's how many food packets you can do. And then we're going to have, and just so you know, we're going to have trophies. The people that pack the most and get the answers right get trophies. This is not going to be help the homeless and not get a trophy. Help the homeless get a trophy. You with me? We've done that, help the homeless. Nobody don't care. Build a house for somebody that ain't got a house. Nobody care. Like, yeah, I helped. But you get a trophy? They'll be like, bam, 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 bam. Right? Okay. We know how this thing, we've been studying this human psychology thing. We know how y'all are. All right. Then I've got Kevin Keats, a basketball coach at NC State. I've got Paul Roberts coming in. I got Andy Riddle coming in. I got, we're going to put on the dog. We've got a whole plan. By the way, everybody should be getting an email from Missy and Amber, the speakers, when you're talking and coming up with a game plan that we put this thing together. We want to just cram this thing with substance, teaching. We want to throw in some music. We got a concert going on. Got the Goads coming in. And Bree Goads down there practicing right now. She's getting a game plan, all her moves on. And Tim Goads going to be talking. Merle Menin's flying in from India. We got a really great program set up. It's one of those $10,000 weekends. It's worth, if you've ever been to anything, you've paid $5,000 or $6,000 or $10,000. It'll be that quality of a seminar. And people are like, it's going to cost $10,000. It should. We do it, I want to say $165, $170. You can look it up under AllianceFamilyReunion.com. AllianceFamilyReunion.com. You're invited, and it's crazy. If you want to buy food and everything, it's like $500, and then everything's real convenient, and you can associate more. That's what I would recommend. Okay, so I got a million leaderboards, but I want to get into this. Jacob, how do you guarantee success? I've got some brand new people out there. Sean Boone, one of my buddies, I'm talking to him. This is how you do it, okay? Ron, I know y'all are figuring out how to get some people selling and make it. Zamir, who you hired by? You by him, okay. And Jalea? Jalea. Okay, are you licensed? Not yet? Get started tomorrow. Okay. So, like, I have this, I just want to start talking to you and show them, but I'm going to try to tell it, what I do. All right, so there's three things. Give me a whiteboard up, Billy, please, sir. Three things that I know will work. Number one is kind of don't quit, okay? We've had 100% success rate with people that don't quit. Okay. Number two is find better people. What we found is it's very hard to make chicken salad with chicken poop. And I ain't saying some people are chicken poop. What I'm saying is it's hard to make chicken salad with chicken poop. You can't make a silk purse with a sow's ear. I don't know if you ever heard that, but it's true. Let me explain to you. A sow is a form of a hog or a pig, and their skin's made of leather. So their ear is this leather and gristle. And silk is not leather. So it's hard to make a silk purse with a sow's ear. You see the problem? So if you got people that are just inadequate when it comes to intelligence, is that a nice way to say it? When we was kids, we'd say stupid people. Ignorant. And we had other words they don't like me to say. They're like, that's offensive. I was like, you should meet the people I'm talking about. It's just hard to build a great football team with little bitty skinny people that can't run. You know what I'm saying? So you got to find better people. I mean, I'm going to come back and tell you this, but number three, and I'm going to put something up there that when people say that, I cringe. I go, why did you? This is not what to say. But then I was like, I just give up because people just say it all the time. But I'm going to help you understand it. It's you got to find better people, and you got to plug in. I hate it when people say, you got to plug in. You got to plug in. What am I, electrical socket? What am I, a cord, a hairdryer? Okay, I am telling you, this will absolutely work. Okay? Okay, I'm going to give you a bonus. A bonus, is this part's free. This is basics. Okay? Teach people the basics. Teach people to be humans or adults. And people are like, I know how to be an adult. I go, you know the part where you don't have money? Adults have money, and you have none. That is not an adult. And they go, my money don't define me. I said, that'd be good, because you'd be like 2 years old if money defines you. Like you know, it sounds like adults have money. You know what I mean? Like they can buy, so they go out to eat and got money. It's America, you know. Okay, so you could say, teach them to be adults. Learn people to be adults. And by the way, I'm not talking about this 250,000. I mean, 250,000 is easy peasy, okay? Now, starting to make 250 a month, different game. You're going to have to do this right here. That makes sense? So in other words, if I said you're quitting, if I could judge you, you don't quit, I say, oh, you get a 10 on that. You get a 10 on this, and you get a 10 on this, and you get a 10 on this. 250 a month is nothing, okay? But if you get like quitting, if you get like a 7 on that, so how you get a 7? Shouldn't you get like a 1 if you quit? But quitting's like, don't quit for a day, don't quit for a minute, don't quit for a weekend. You with me? Like relentless, like Energizer Bunny, like it's your only thing you're doing, like it's your total focus. And people along the lines of don't quitting, they get distractions. They get off track. Okay? Like in the don't quit thing, in the don't quit, they do like this. Like here's where you are, here's where you want to be. And I studied at North Carolina State. I'm an engineer. We drew lines. And to get from here to here is a straighter line. That's the best way to get there. No detours down here, and you got to come back because then you got this X and you got this X. See, this didn't take as much energy and money as those two X's. It's a straight line from here to there. Relentless, focused energy on what you're trying to accomplish. Does that make sense? And I mean, there's people that give it the old, this look. You know what I'm saying? Like that, right there. See how much energy that is? So this is not quitting like taking a break. This is just relentless, day-to-day stuff. Okay? By the way, you can't just sit right here. People do that too. And that ends up costing you more and taking longer to get there. Okay. I had, at number 1, I had don't quit and don't shoot yourself. It's kind of like number 2, don't shoot yourself. Like, but don't shoot yourself in the head or in the mouth. Don't shoot yourself like in the hand or the foot either. Like, let me give you an example. See, my head's always running through the people that I know and what they're dealing with. And I love y'all. I'm not trying to pick on anybody. But, Billy, if you could move this up to the top where the other one is, I got started kind of odd. That would be awesome. We're there together. Okay. If you're like learning to do stuff and like say you got a person started and then you start being negative around them, like telling them bad stuff that you've experienced since you've been with us, then that's like shooting yourself in the hand. Like, for example, coming to family reunion, you're invited, it don't cost that much, but you don't come. So it's like shooting yourself with a staple gun, like stab, 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 stab. And that's going to hurt, and that's going to cost yourself money. Is that kind of, like, don't quit means don't be negative, don't stab, don't, like, you shouldn't watch a lot of TV, so let me preface it. But I like that Law and Order thing. And there's people that cut themselves. Like they just take stuff and cut and sharp and then with rocks and shells and knives and it's like, ow! Don't do that. I've got a video I send out to people. It's by this guy named Bob Newhart, and he says, "Stop it." He's a psychiatrist or psychologist person in this little video. If you haven't seen that, Go to one of your top-notch leaders and say, do you have that video of Bob Newhart? Because I'm not cutting myself, but I'm stabbing myself, or I'm sticking myself, or I'm self-sabotaging, and I'm doing some of those things that Andy's talking about, and I need to see this video from Bob Newhart where he says, stop it. Right? Like this one girl, she was telling Bob that every time she went on a date, she would talk about her ex-boyfriend. And Bob told her, stop it. You see what I'm saying? Because she's having a date and it's going good, but then she kind of like takes her wrist out and just starts scrubbing on it. And he's like, stop it. Don't talk about your ex to this new date. That is not good. And he has all kinds of stuff that this person's doing, and he explains to her to stop it. So if you're stabbing and hurting yourself, stop it. Is everybody okay with that? Now, this is not complicated. But if you catch yourself doing something and you know this is against the positivity thing, this is against moving forward. I mean, people are like, I'm going to go on pause for a week. I'm going to go pause for a month. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm fighting with my wife right now. I'm going through a divorce. I'm getting married. Like, when you're going through hell, keep on running. Don't slow down. The devil might catch you. You might get out before he even knows you're there. That should have some music attached to it right there, baby. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, you can't stop for a divorce. So what am I supposed to do? Keep working? Yeah. When you get married, you're supposed to keep going. Like, don't we ever get stopped? No, not. I mean, listen, hey, watch. I don't care what you do. Ain't my life. Does that make sense? I'm telling you, this is how you win. Well, it's hard. Hey, ding dong. There's two things that ain't gonna never go together: success and comfort. Failure and comfort. Failure and stopping. Success, go through the trash. Go, look. Here's your visual. See that? That's up. That's harder. That's where the good stuff is. You see that? That's down. That's where hell is. That's where misery is. You understand? What's your name, boss man? Panther? Huh? Avion? It ain't complicated. If it's hard, that's where the good stuff is. If it's easy, it's going to be bad. So I'm a big creature of comfort, and, you know, like, yeah, I see your jet too. You piece of trash, you come in there and daggum door broke on it, window scratched, ain't painted, nasty inside. When's the last time your car had a detailed? Do you ride in that stuff? You're going to catch something. When what's them recluse spider bites you, that stuff starts getting rotten around there. Had to cut all that stuff out and take some meat from another part of your body and give you a transplant. Yeah, good thing you're a creature of comfort. You follow Evian, is that what your name was? What is it? What's her name, Zamir? Jalea, yeah. Jalea. That's a good name, Jalea. Okay, so if you want to make it, stop quitting. Start going. Quit taking breaks. Quit listening to the idiots in your life and God help. I'm just thinking of some of the dumb people that people listen to. They just listen to the dumbest people. I'm going to tell you, this is for you, Ed. This ain't for everybody else. I'm skipping to the bonus. All right. Here's the way it goes. All right. Ed. All right. I am very upset about... It was over there. I'm very upset about this, okay? Whatever this is. Other people, I tell them about this, and they go, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you're not upset about that? Then they get all crazy over this. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Who cares? Let me give you an example. Church back. I'll be like, You know, like, what are you talking about? I have a $3,000 chargeback. You wouldn't understand. I was like, no, I don't understand. Like, I had this, God, I'm about to say the word, bad person come in my office, about 6 foot tall, old white man, a little gray in his hair, looked smart, nice, got a nice shirt on. That joker scammed me for $43,000, stole my money, one of my ABT. And you say, what'd you think? I was like, huh? Eh? What are you going to do? So like, that happens to you? Yeah. When you got a big business, and I mean, the other day, I wrote a policy and I made $80,000 on one deal. What'd you think? Huh? Eh? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not excited about that. Either the $80,000 commission or the $43,000 chargeback. What do you get excited about, Andy? Oh, new people who are excited and join the team and are loyal and dedicated and they have energy and excitement and they've got a smile on their face and they got rid of some stupid friends they had and forgot their past and got focused on the future and paid off their credit cards and bought them a new car and they went on a trip and go with us to Alaska. Another person going to Alaska. See, you can't be upset about this and excited about, you can't, you're confused. Does that make sense? Yes. Ron? This one, I was talking to Jeff Bright about this. Josh, I'll say to people, I'll be like, dude, you got to stay positive no matter what. And they'll say, that I agree with. I go like, what do you think this is? Multiple choice, cafeteria style. What's the place we like that you got the good bread and the chocolate fountains? Golden Corral. We think this is Golden Corral. You don't get to walk by stuff. I'm telling you everything you need to get rich and be successful. Come on, I like that part. And then when I say something like, you can't hang around you negative people, even if they are your best friends, they go like, oh, that part I don't know about. And I go, what is wrong with you? I'm not supposed to say what is wrong with you. But I want to say, like, what is wrong with you? Like, that's like, seriously? You don't get to pick and choose. I'm the one that's got the Ferrari. You go, you don't know everything. You ain't Jesus. I go, why? Because I got short hair? I know I'm not Jesus or Jesus or any of those J words. I'm Andy, but I'm the guy that started the dadgum thing. I'm the guy that's working with Stephen Davies. You go, you and Davies don't know everything. I said, between us, we almost do. You put in Diane Lamp, and now we got a girl on the team. And if we agree on everything, and you're picking and choosing, that's a problem for you. And you go, I'm doing pretty good. Compared to what? Is that the best you can be? No. You know why? Because you're disagreeing with me and Paul and Diane on this stuff. Because you're nitpicky like it's deadgum Golden Corral. You understand what I'm telling you? This drives me freaking crazy. This is called shooting yourself. Shooting, like, or penalizing yourself. Football teams, quit pulling people's face masks. Like, they're going to charge you 15 yards for that. Where am I supposed to tackle them? Anywhere else. Anywhere else. Grab their shoestring by the ankle. Hit them around the waist. Got them by the head. But not the face mask. It's 15 yards. Does that make sense? No penalties. We're going to go on hut too. When I say hut, don't move. Sometimes I want to just go down on the field with my team and just say, hey, seriously, let's go over. 1, 2. How do they do that? You go, but it's game time situation. It's like, what are we going to do? 4 is the biggest number we're going to do. Does that make sense? Like, we can't have penalties. We can't go offsides. And then when you're on defense, you wait until they hike the ball. You see, if that ball don't move, don't you go touch them. Right. What if they scream loud? Hey! No, don't move. Wait until you see movement. Is this making sense? No penalties. You got to keep moving. Yeah, I might come back to it a little bit, but so it's knowing these things right here. This will make you money, and this stuff don't matter. What people are, they get all excited about things that don't matter, and things that are going to make them money, they get all upset about. Does that make sense? Like going to convention, trying to decide, should I go to this event and hang around you, Andy, who runs the company, and the other top leaders? Yeah. You with me? Yeah. But how do you know that? Well, we put it in a book. We put it in the 8 steps. We're talking about it on the show. You see what I'm saying? It's like why do people... And now I'm telling you, if you ask a psychologist or sociologist, they'll be like, they had a bad childhood. Like, I'm not kidding you. Last night I had to watch some Law and Order, and that bad childhood caused him to kill a person, so they took him off of where they kill him, death sentence, because of extenuating circumstances. He still ain't going to get free. Like, because of that, he got a break. I was like, oh, okay. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay. Like, I was like, I don't know. I mean, I guess people are hindered if they had a bad childhood. But I'm going to tell you what happened to me one time when I was a kid. I was talking trash to my mama, and I bent over to get something, and she took a knife, and she just hit me real hard on the head, and I was like, ah! 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 I mean, it hurt like heck. But when I didn't see blood, I was so excited. I was like, she's cutting my head half in two. And she, you know what she said? She said, you're lucky I had it turned to the dull side. I still remember shaking it. If y'all understand what And I was like, keep your mouth shut. I was thinking to myself, keep your mouth shut. To me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was looking at her, and then the people say, that ain't nothing what happened to me. I go, what are you, a topper? You got to take my bad experiences and make your bad experiences more? You're a topper for bad experiences. You understand what I'm saying? Like what I did, my Aunt Nanny, which is cousin's mama, I would go to Aunt Nanny. And whenever the family go, I say, Aunt Nanny, I got to talk to you. I'd be crying. I remember as a kid, I'd be crying. I'd be like, my mom was crazy. Have you ever seen those movies like the kids, they find out they moved into grandma and it ain't really grandma, or it's like a spooky. I was like, I live in that. And she's like, oh, it ain't that bad. I was like, yeah, it is. It's bad. And she would say, you just need to wait until you get out of high school, do good enough grades so you go to college and don't never come back. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do right there. Then I go back to hell, you know, but now people say, like, I met your mama, she's nice. I'd be like, it's because it ain't your mama. It's your mama. I don't mean to put down your situations that happen to you at all, okay? I'm just telling you, I remember all kinds of stuff. But I just can't, here's what I can't believe. I can't believe that there's not free choice, and no matter what happened to you, you have a decision of whether you're going to make phone calls or not. I was talking to somebody yesterday on home. I was going to call her back. And she was telling me something happened. I said, I was so upset. I said, it's terrible. And then I was like, it was a girl, so I'm hesitant to say this. What I want to say is what you need to do is hang up and make some phone calls. That's what I wanted to say. But I told her, I said, well, hang up and try to make some phone calls. That's what I said. I throw it in the old try. Thought that was softening it a little bit, you know. She told me how bad it was going to be and how hard it was going to be, and I was like, I want to say, do it anyway, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, when we was a little kid, cut your leg, they say, rub some dirt in it, let's go. I'd be like, what does that mean? He said, take some dirt, rub it in, let's go. I was like, how about stitches? He's like, dirt. I run by a nail one time and it cut my arm. Look at here. Like, yeah, see that right there? It just gashed in there. They said, rub some dirt in it. I was like, I'm going to tell Mama. He said, she don't care. I said, I'm going to tell Aunt Nanny. He said, we'll go to the doctor, get it sewed up. Dr. Sam, stick that up, put some SAF on it. Don't get me talking about that SAF, because I've been and said something funny that ain't right to say. My parents told me dirty jokes when I was little. I have flashbacks like that SAF would heal you up in places you don't want healed. Tell you what, Bo. Be careful where you put that stuff. Okay. You can't stop. Does that make sense? You have a lot better shot of getting there if you don't stop. Okay. Find better people. Okay, let me tell you about this. If you have a skinny goat, it ain't going to sell good at the stock market. You got to get some goat with some meat on them bones, baby. You want goat barbecue, you want meat. You ain't going to do nothing with the bones. You know what I'm telling you? Or if you get a goat with some long hair on it, you can make some goat shirts and stuff with it. You with me? Let me. I'll tell you something. Y'all think that Mike Krzyzewski, the Duke University coach, we got a guy, one of the former Duke players. I don't know if he played for Krzyzewski or he's a long time ago. But Krzyzewski's not that great of a coach. But his players are so good. And they're so tall, and they can run and shoot. It's very annoying to be pulling for the Wolfpack when we play Duke, because their players are so much better than ours. How do you say, well, your guys have heart? Heart don't matter if you're short and you're playing basketball. To me, I have people all the time go, you got to meet this girl. And when they pull their pants up like that, you know they're walking through manure. And they're trying to keep the manure off their shorts. They say, I got this girl. And I'll be like, I see them pulling them, And they say, she wants this business bad. She cares about us. I'll be like, how tall is she? You know what I'm saying? Like they say, she's an honest person. I was like, how? You know that? She told me so. But that don't mean nothing. That's like they're telling me a Christian right up. I'll be like, oh, hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm getting ready to get a Christian screwing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? She said she was honest and hardworking. She got a job not right now, but she had one time. Matter of fact, she's had about 7. How old is she? 20. Bro, she's a little stick-to-itive enough up in there, don't she? You follow what I'm saying? Like, you got to have better people. So stories. Have y'all noticed I'm telling stories? Have y'all figured that out? I'm not just telling you. I got this one person. Here's the way they recruit. Hello, my name is Shirley, and I'm calling with the Alliance, and I want to know if you're interested in coming to work with us and selling some insurance. Like, bro, they're not going to be good with that. Follow-ups are the same way. Hey, Shirley, hey, Margaret, this is Shirley. I just want to let you know I'm in your upline. I know you got on our team, and if you need anything, I'm here 24/7. I'm available for you to help. If you have any questions on how the insurance works or the medical underwriting, or if you're having problems in the house and you can't close, I can teach you the script and show you what to say to people. I guarantee people are going like, oh, is that what you say to people? No, this don't work. This won't work. Like I've never, ever had success, but you say, it sounds good what you're saying. I know it sounds stupid is what it sounds. That won't work. Like, I'm going to teach you the script, and I can show you how to get access to anyone at the home office. I know Mr. Albright myself, and he is a really good guy, and he is a really smart guy, and he's built this company, and you just call my number. This is my number I'm calling from. I'm available. You can text me 24/7. I will be your support system. You say like, what's wrong with that? It sucks. I almost fell asleep telling you in front of you. I literally was like, wake up, wake up. I almost called on you, Jeff. I told you, I was like, come and entertain me, Jeff. Like, because I was about to go to sleep. But that's what people do. That is, have y'all ever heard of falling out of a dumb tree and hitting every limb on the way down? That's like eat up with the dumb. You've heard of tore up from the floor up? They eat up with dum is what they are, Bo. Got dum-dums coming out of their ears. Put some sap up in there. You follow what I'm saying? So, like, here's what I tell them. How about, look, you and with us now, we was selling buckets of money. Let me tell you why buckets of money is good. Do you want to make money? How many in here would like to make some money because they're part of this organization? Yeah. All right. How many people like to make a difference? How many like to give to charities? Okay. How many of you know that money is exchangeable for all those things? Different cars, buy your mama something, pay for your kids' education. Hey, how about, I haven't been able to post pictures yet, but I went to the most fabulous wedding I've ever been to in my life. This past Saturday, my daughter got married, and I'm going to tell you what, I was told everybody, I said, this has been the craziest wedding. Not only have I never seen anything like this, I've never been invited to anything as crazy as that wedding. I mean, it was crazy, guys. It was at the Montage, 20,000 acres. Spread out, it looked like Celebration. If you've ever been down there, this planned community, or is there a movie maybe Pleasantville? Is that it? Where every house looks perfect, or Perfectville? You know what I'm talking about? Every single thing's perfect. 20,000 acres, and it's low country. Lower South Carolina got all the moss hanging down, trees big around from me to UT, and sprouting out. That's right. You and Terry came down there, I didn't do the invite list. My daughter wanted a select wedding, so she invited very few people. So if you didn't get invited, I didn't know. I didn't even know y'all were coming until Terry mentioned to me. I didn't ask. It's not my deal. I just paid for it, which you might think that entitles me to some rights, but it don't. I just participated. But it was a small chapel, beautiful, on the marshland, on the lake. Oh my God, it was crazy pretty. You with me on it? Just ridiculous. If you want to do something, I didn't bring it down. I'm probably going to frame the letter Haley gave me. She was just like, Daddy, thank you for providing a dream life and making a little girl's dream come true. This is the most amazing wedding I've ever been, seen, and now it's me walking down the aisle, and it was just on and on about just nice letter to me. Like, when I walked down the aisle with her, I wasn't thinking, God, remember when that guy screwed me that time and charged me the charge back? I wasn't thinking about all that. I was thinking about, that's right, Albright done this, you know what I'm saying? My little girl, she was crying, she's crying, and I'm excited, and I'm just laughing, and I'm trying not to get in trouble because I've got all these rules and guidelines. Not supposed to take pictures and not supposed to post them. It's her stuff, and she's going to let it come out gradually and milk it for all it's worth, But if you want to do stuff like that, yesterday, this was Saturday. Yesterday, we toured the new Albright Medical Health Center, Albright Medical Health Center. We're branching out into medicine. So me and Spencer went down, took our staff, and we saw where these ice tubs. Have you ever seen on TV when they're in an ice tub? Well, the problem is one person has to sit there, and then it has to get out, and another person has to get in. Make sense? Takes up a lot of room. You can't have 20 ice tubs. You understand what I'm saying like this? So what they have a walk-through ice tub, okay? So the way it works, like, see how this line is? This is like, I paid for this, right? So I'm like, tell me all about it. And so you fill up this pool, not much bigger than maybe from that wall to that wall, but it's got steps going down, and let's say I start at the top, which is floor level, and I walk down to the bottom, and it's filled with ice and water. And what you do is you walk through the ice like this, and then you tag the wall, and then you walk back this side, and by the time you have walked down the steps and down there and back, you have met your time requirement because they know how long it takes you to walk. Guess what's happening behind me? Another guy's walking behind. I was like cold chills. I said, we're geniuses at North Carolina State University. But one ice tub now serves, so, and this is all about recruiting and health of these kids, and they're going to put an Albright name all around it. Spencer was loving that. He was like, the Albright place, my son, and I told a guy about my brother, he's nothing to do with it, and he's all fired up. He's like, Albright. He always says that, So if you want people to say your name like that, like you understand, you're going to need a better team. Does that make sense? So the story I'm telling, see, I'm just keep telling these stories. Y'all don't tell stories. Y'all tell them the facts and the figures, and just that's not what we're doing here. We're recruiting and building. You're going to fail. You're going to suck. Nobody's going to stick. You know how you keep hiring people and they keep quitting? Because you can't tell stories. You suck at stories. Does that make sense? Your stories are boring. You ain't even trying to tell stories. What's wrong with you? You got to learn how to tell stories, but learn early. Okay, so let me tell you how this went down. When I was a kid, I didn't have no money, but I wanted money, so I asked my daddy, and my daddy would slap me, okay? Not hard, just hard, but little, you don't have to get hit hard and, get flipped over, I don't want to show you, but, just, and a lot of times you turn the ring around backwards to do that. So I didn't like asking for money, and when I give me money, he give me $1. I said, what are you going to do with $1? I mean, I didn't say that when I was a little kid, but I was thinking. I was like, I was a smart little kid. I was like, you can't do nothing with $1. I need real money. So they told me, they said, rake up some pine needles and take them to the city, and we'll sell it, and you can have the money. So we raked them up, took them to the city. People give us money for pine needles. I said, that's stupid. I ain't never seen anything in my life. You can get them free in the woods, and these people give you money. So I got fascinated with this money thing. Make sense? Then we had some goats, and the goats have babies. We take them to the stock market, sell them, people give you money. Now let me tell you how this went down, Josh. I had all the pine needles I want when I was selling pine needles. I was a pine needle person. Our shrubbery had pine needles. We had pine needles left over in the back of the truck. You could weave pine needles into hair bracelets. Anything, we had pine needles coming out the rear end, you know what I'm saying? When I got into goats, I had goats coming out like crazy. Goat meat, goat barbecue, goat poop. They did this little cute little poops. I don't know if you ever seen goat poop, but it's cute. Just little balls. Just looks like millions of little balls. And you take this little balls of poop. Have you ever seen that Dot ice cream? Dots? It's like big dots. No different colors. They're all real deep chocolate looking, It looks, what it looks like is them chocolate covered raisins. That's what it looks like. But that stuff will make some tomatoes grow, bro. You put that, when I had goats, bro, let me tell you something. I had all the goat, but let me tell you something. Baby goats were never born at convenient times. Always ice, rain, lightning storm. And I'd never forget, I was a little kid, because I like this, I tell you, this just helps my self-image even today. This 50, Amber found that somewhere, hand it to me. Dude, you have no idea. And I was at this leadership thing, and this lady, she said, what do you do to help your self-image? I said, I keep a couple $1,000s in my pocket. And she said, you don't think about your leadership and your character? I said, no, I just reach down and hold my money. I said, you ever seen me reach in my pocket? That's what I'm doing. I'm building up my confidence. You know what I'm saying? Got my money. That makes sense. I just feel good about it. You might be different. Like, when I was a little kid, I always wanted some money. And it's not that I like the paper, it's the stuff. You can trade anything. I'll be like, give me a drink. They'll be like, we're closed. I'll be like, we just opened back up for a minute. This crazy. It's crazy what people will do for this stuff. I just like to see them run around. You know what I mean? They'll be like, just give them $100. They'll go crazy, man. Just nuts. And I like to do that. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. So I was little. So when babies would get born, I'd get excited. I remember it was sleeting. I was about 10, 11 years old. And I went looking, and I found this little goat behind a log. I stepped over, and that joker was laying down there. And it done so cold, he got on his ears, and they got frostbit like crazy. So ears are supposed to hang down like that right there. Them things like that right there. That one on his head. I picked him up, I was crying. I took him back up, took him aside. Mama screaming. I said, you scream all you want, we're going to get this goat. This goat's going to live. And I said, look at his ears, Mama, I cried. She said, oh, are you so tenderhearted? I said, yeah, we take him to the stock market, they ain't going to want to give us much money. She said, I thought you was worried about the goat's ears hurting. I said, no, we can clip them things off. We're trying to round them up, make them look like a little, not like they get eat off with some kind of disease. It was all crooked. Oh, I just thought about another one. I ain't even know if I want to tell you. Who said don't? You don't want me to tell you? How about I tell you like the SAF? I don't tell you exactly, but you might be able to figure it out. See, girl goats, if they had girl babies, we'd keep them because then they have more girl babies. But if they had billy goats, we'd sell them because somebody else need a billy goat, they'd give you money. And I had this one time, and I checked, and I said, I don't know what we're going to do with that one. That's my dad. So what happened? He said, what we need to do is we get rid of them and quit breeding in the same group. That's a problem. I said, oh, what am I going to do with that one? You can't have a good team if you ain't got good players. Does that make sense? I usually just ask them a couple questions, and it tells me something about who they are, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to select the best group. Does that make sense? You understand? I'm not trying to, but you see how I'm telling stories. Does that make sense? Now, when you hire people that are really, really bad, and then they do really, really bad, you don't go off the deep end, you just go find another person. See how that works? When you find a really bad person, you don't go crazy, you just go talk to another person. Does that make sense? You don't get so, what'd you say? You don't get caught up in it. We were talking about people they talk about this for weeks or months about this chargeback or this person that turned out to be a crook. Or one of my buddies, a client, turned them into the Department of Insurance, and they had to stop for a week because they were like, I'm not a bad person. And they needed people to tell them, and I was like, you don't need to stop like that. Like, don't worry about it. Like, you can't debate. I was listening to Steve Furtick this morning. Furtick's a preacher. So I'm listening to Furtick, and he's talking about doubt. And he said, a preacher preached, he said, all of y'all that beyond a shadow of doubt, you know that Jesus is your Savior. We need for you to pray after me. You with me? And he called that preacher afterwards, and he said, don't you ever do that in my church, ever. And he said, what? He said, you told people that beyond a shadow of doubt. He said, I got doubts. How's people that don't even know Jesus going to not have doubts? He's like, I got doubts. Like, there's a lot of stuff left out. Like Jesus, like that woman Mary that had the baby, right? They say she wasn't with a man, but had a baby. How'd that happen? The Holy Spirit. We didn't see no DNA, did we? We need some proof. You say, wait a minute, you calling telling God need proof? If you want to know the facts, we got to have the proof, right? So if you can believe that without doubt, you're somebody. Does that make sense? I'm a believer. I'm 100% believer. You know what the belief does for me? You know what faith does for me? Faith helps me get over the doubt. But the doubt is not there. Does that make sense? He told him, he said, if people have faith, they can still have doubt, because faith is when you move regardless of having all the DNA and all the details. You understand what I'm telling you is? It's not that you don't have doubt. It's that you have action. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not sure if what Andy's saying. I don't care if you're not sure. Doubt it and then do it. The do is in the doubt. Hello, I just wrote that. Write that down. The do is in the doubt. Is it D? Is it D-O? Somebody write that down. My media, do is in the doubt. Mama said there would be days like this. That's what Haley's song was for when the mother did Daddy dance. But she changed it to Daddy said there'd be days like this. Like I just came up with something. The dude's in the doubt. Put that out there before Furtick gets it out and takes credit for it. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that on nothing. I just made that up right there.
That was good, bud.
Give me a lemon. Does that make sense? Like, you don't have to have it down perfect. Okay? All right, so we're looking for people. And here's another thing. I have never found a good person on a good, clear, sunny, bright, nice day. It was always in the middle of a storm or a disaster, or when I had a party that I was supposed to go to, and then I had to go get the goats and skip the party. I've never found good agents during convenient times. It's always been during a storm. Like one guy would be screwing me, doing me wrong, and talking trash about me and being negative and talking about not coming to my meeting or something. And then this guy would step up. So if I was sitting down when I was getting burned, I would have not stepped up when the guy came out of the woodwork. Does that make sense? Every time there's a storm, I'm looking for the silver lining. Get it? Hello, that's just the way it goes down. If there's a death in a close family member, you need to be looking out at the good-looking, sharp people come to the funeral while you're looking sad and depressed about your family member that just went to, wait a minute, are they going to hell? Is that why you're depressed? They're going to heaven. Well, then be grinning. Having a celebration of life, even though they're dead. And be looking for somebody that you can recruit. Dude said, that is absolutely wrong, Andy. That's the part, Logan, where they're disagreeing with me when they ought to be agreeing with me. You don't know everything. I don't know everything, but I know this. I know every good goat I got was during a dadgum storm. And every goat that was a piece of junk didn't sell for nothing at the stock market. Does that make, I'm just telling you. You got a little short boy, can't shoot, can't run, he gonna get cut from the team. Because the coach ain't got time to wait for that sucker to turn into a dadgum miracle. My coach ain't Jesus neither. Does that make sense? Jesus turned water to wine. Are you Jesus? No, but I could produce a miracle. You'd be better likely to have a baby than you would produce a miracle. You understand that? A miracle is when you come back from life. Unlikely. Baby born, 9 months. Sometimes about 3 months. So how a baby can't be more than 3 months. I know that. But you know how they get married. Be like, we'll have a baby in 3 months. So you just got married? Oh, it's your miracle baby. They done do without a doubt. That's another good one. They done do without a doubt. Because of the timing on it. You know what I'm saying? And then here's another thing. People get, okay, watch this. They get offended over that. Oh my God. Like, bro, nobody knew it was you till you started squirming. Just stay calm and keep recruiting. You keep calm and no recruiting, nobody know you did nothing. Just go on about your, don't call attention to your blunders. Does that make sense? It wasn't a blunder, it was an act, whatever. Don't tell me more. You tell me too much. I don't want to hear it. I know what happened. I got an idea. Got a visual. All right. Oh. How much time I got? I got no time to tell you, but I'm going to try to tell you anyway. All right, here we go. Find better people. Okay. What's your name? Emmanuel? Avion. That's right, Avion. Avion. We got this thing called acronyms. I thought that was a spider for a long time, but it's not. Acronym, okay? Has nothing to do with spiders. RWA. We say when people are RWA, that stands for ready, willing, and able. So when you find people ready, willing, and able, you got a better person to do it. Another acronym. See, acronym means abbreviations that stand for words, I think. I ain't sure about it. That's what it seems like. Fat. We like fat people. People are like, how about me? How about your work? You with me? Fat people will do it. Does that make sense? We need RWAs or FATs, okay? So, by the way, so like I'm recruiting you, right? Like I'm trying to recruit you. Like Andy told you about you, hey, come with, and you recruit Zamir. You need to tell Zamir, you need to find RWAs and fats. What I have is a poster that I give them, my brand new people, right? Immediately, I say, help me find somebody fat, right? Find somebody RWA, right? Ready, willing, able. Ready means they're ready. Does that make sense? Meaning, like, here's not ready. Well, my dad had a stroke. He moved in with us, and we moving in this week, and then we got to get him organized. I'm like, his mama coming with? Yeah, she coming too. Oh, God. They're not ready because they got something to do. I just had a heart attack, and I can't drive at night because he's not ready. Does that make sense? I'm 17 years old. He's not ready. Does that make sense? You got to find them ready, okay? And then you got to find them willing, okay? So they could be nothing going on in their life, but they're not willing to do insurance. They're not willing to get their class. Right. It's got to be ready, willing, and able. Sometimes we say available, but it's able. Ready, willing, and able. If they're just dum-dums, and he's failed the test 7 times, and 3 times he went on the wrong day, that's a dum-dum right there. You done found your person with inadequate intelligence. You said, but God can produce miracles, but you're not God. And God told me to tell you to get somebody else. God said, tell that ding-dong head to get somebody with more talents than that dum-dum he done got. So I'm telling you. You don't know that God told you that? I do know he told me that. I prayed, he told me, I'm telling you, let's go. Does that make sense? You're talking about what Jesus done did. I'm talking about what he's doing. He's telling me, tell him again. All right, get somebody else. Does that make sense? People say, how do you know that it's God talking to you and not them pinto beans you ate? Because I was praying that God would tell me about this. But you still could be the pinto beans. Well, I got faith. I got doubt. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm feeling that he did tell me to tell you to get somebody else. Does that make sense? And here's what I know. If you get somebody else, they're going to be better than this one because this one that you got is bad. Does that make sense? So able, ready, willing, able. Fat, faithful. Faithful is a person who do with all the facts, without all the facts. They do in the middle of the doubt. They act. I ain't got no money to get a license, but I'm going around asking people $20, $7. They faithful. Does that make sense? You want to use available? Okay, here we go able, here we go available. If they have other stuff going on in their life, I've got a wedding coming up in 2 weeks, I'm planning that. I'm like, oh, God. You know what I mean? Like, I want somebody ready to go now. Now. Well, I just got this new job and I need to get oriented in. I got this guy, undergraduate at NC State, master's degree at Duke University, got his license, ready to go, gets a job, open, high income. He's like, I got to go move up there and do that. I'm like, I'm keeping in touch with him, but you understand I'm not waiting on him. I'm going to find you or you or you. Does that make sense? In other words, I'm not waiting. Does that make sense? I'm moving this direction all the DM time. All the DM time, I'm moving that direction. Now, I text this guy and touch base. He's now got oriented. Well, now he's up in the Connecticut area that he'd like somebody to ride with him and do some teaching. So if anybody's available or would like to go up in there and help him, I'd be glad for you to do it. Does that make sense? Like I'm not kidding. This guy's sharp, but he's orienting that job thing, and the hours are driving him crazy. I'm not counting or waiting. I'm looking for somebody that's available now, and then teachable. I tell you what, the easiest way to tell somebody if they're teachable or not is when you tell them something and they do it. They're teachable. You say, what if they don't want to do it? Then they're not teachable. What if they're doing it slow because they're dum-dums? Well, they don't want to, because the person that wants to will do it. Who was it told me? Oh, I know, Eric Thomas. Eric, y'all know who E.T. is, the hip-hop preacher? E.T., he was like, he had this class, and he failed it twice. And he said, you know what I did? I said, I don't know what you did. He said, I went and bought the book for the class. I said, what? He said, yeah, I went and bought the book for the class. I said, why? He said, because I wanted to pass. I said, what happened the first 2 times? He said, I didn't want to pass. I said, why? He said, I don't know, I just want to buy the book. I didn't want to do the stuff it took to pass. He said, then I started going to every class. I was like, wait, you didn't go to the class the first 2 times? He goes, no, I didn't go to class. I didn't buy the book. I said, I'd go sometime. I was like, well, you knew you was going to fail. He said, well, I thought I might pass. But 2 times he went through the thing, so he bought the book, he studied, talked to the teacher, learned the material, and passed the test. That's what people do when they want it. They don't fight you. I want to go to the family reunion, but let me tell you the 3 reasons I can't do it. You didn't buy the book, you didn't go to class, you didn't study. That's why you didn't. You see what I'm saying? Like you don't want to go to family reunion. Does that make sense? Teachable. I tell you what you do, and you do it. Now, if you don't do that, I'm not going to be mad at you because it's not my life. I got money. And when I didn't have money, I said the same thing. I got money. You know, I'm going to do this, so I don't care what you do. I keep telling people, I don't care what you do. I don't care. I'm telling you, I'm going to keep winning and annoying my family members. Because wasn't nobody helped me when I was living with my crazy mama and crazy daddy, except Aunt Nanny, and she dead. So the rest of them, I'm just trying to make them mad. I'm going to get underneath the wings of my planes. I'm going to get, how do you like me now? So when I fly over them, they look up, how you like me now? I wonder if that's Andy's plane. But how do you like me now underneath my wings? How about that? Somebody post that on Facebook for them. I ain't going down there and getting attached to them dirty people on Facebook, but I'll dang sure get somebody else to post it for them. I'll piss them off with somebody else's post. I ain't going on there. Nasty stuff on there. Be like that car I was telling you about, ain't been detailed. You ain't caught something on Facebook, you ain't careful. I'm not kidding. The nastiest people on there I've seen, but they get mad. They get upset, Bo. They tell me, I'm not sure if I got these letters right, but it's AOC. Is that a person? Is she California? Huh? New York? Is that where she is? Is a female? People get mad at her? Yeah. That Trump guy. He make them mad. I think he spelled a word wrong on purpose. Or used the wrong word. People say, no, he's dumb. He used the wrong word and didn't even mean to. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? People go off. They crazy. But let me tell you something. You tell them we got, 10 leads available 2 hours away, they act like they didn't hear you. But let me get something straight. Hillary says something, you get mad. Or Hillary says something, and you go crazy. Or Bernie wants to give you a free education, you get all excited. And I tell you there's free leads over here an hour away, and you act like you didn't hear it. Here's what they do. They pay attention to the stuff that don't give them nothing, and they don't pay attention to the stuff that get them rich. They ignore the stuff that'll get them rich, and they pretend like they don't know about the family reunion. They pretend like they don't know about the study guide. They don't pretend like they don't know about stuff that gets them places. And then they tell me, I like that one point you made, Andy. I go, I made 72 points, bro. You should have been on every, God bless, you should be like a daggum June bug on a dadgum turkey, or a turkey on a June bug, or whatever way it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like mites on chickens. That's what it need to be like. Y'all don't know this stuff. They don't know. You women, like some things matter and some things don't. You got to listen to me and learn this stuff. So you don't know everything. We already established I don't know everything, but what I do know is the Ferrari, Lamborghini, the wedding, the gifts, the trips, the name on the building. Does that make sense? What we do know is I know how to find the Andy Riddle. What we do know is I know how to find a Marcus Richards. And what I do know is I know how to friend a Tia and Terry Edwards. Does that make sense? Like, I say some crazy stuff. I get that. I know you're better than me because you don't say as crazy a stuff as me. I just can't figure out how come you ain't winning as much. Does that make sense? Like the people I'm telling, I know this stuff. I studied at Chelsea. Okay, so this is the better people. Okay, I'm way plug in. I hate that. That does not mean what I want it to mean. It has nothing to do. Here's what people are trying to say. You've got to listen to all our audios. You've got to read all our books, and you've got to associate. That's all it means. Okay. Now, if I'm telling you, first I'm going to say, you're invited. What's your name, sir? Amate. Amate, you're invited to our family reunion. I want you to be there. I really do. So I spend enough time talking to him that he knows that I'm serious about wanting them there. Okay? I don't want him to turn around and say, I didn't know you want me to come. I talk to people, and they go like, yeah, my upline mentioned it. I go, mentioned it? I spend enough time in the beginning. I tell you what I am. I'm low, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like a nose tackle, but I'm low. I'm down here where the money is. I'm down here where the river flows. I get up under them, talk to them about how much I want them to come to the convention. All right, so I send them a band invite, Albright Communication band invite. Okay, I send them, I get their phone out and I ask them, I said, do you know what podcasts are? I show them the Alliance app. I show them all that, and I get them all into it. You know how mad I was at my staff for not inviting you to this meeting? I mean, if I could have, I was furious. Like, how is it possible you're in class? They know I'm not, like, I love them, but how's that possible? But I guarantee you they've told you something grand. Grand, okay? I'm grand and basics. Does that make sense? I'm just, I can't, how else can I say it? I'm like a bitch for the basics. So I'm just a bitch about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up, in 1983, I went to NC State, and Jim Valvano was there. He coached at NC State, won a national championship, and some other good stuff. That son of a gun was a B on the basics. Like, he was just like, if you don't do the basics, you're going to go back home to your mama. And he would say bad cuss words and be spitting like I almost like try to spit on people a little bit of times on the front row so they can, because I think about what Jim Valvano did. I mean, he was psycho on the basics. Like, if you threw a pass and you didn't step toward, like if you threw a pass like that and didn't step toward the person, he would go off, okay? And I mean, you know, Valvano was about my height, a little bit taller than me, and them guys 6'6", he would be just screaming at him. I'd be like, that joker is going to smush you. But he'd act like he don't care. Does that make sense? I'm psycho for the basics. So when I tell a person, I go, you got to come to stuff or you're going to fail. We got a 100% success rate if you will do the stuff. That's what I tell them, 100%, you can't fail. You just can't mess up. It's not possible to screw this up if you do the simple stuff I'm telling you. I just had a guy on the phone last night, hired Director James Hill. I said, when you're in a house, you got to do 4 basics. And if you don't do these 4 basics, you're going to fail. And you can't tell me later on, I don't like one of the 4, because that gets you down to a 75, which is a C at best. And I am not looking for C people. I'm looking for 6'5", 225, they can run. Does that make sense? I tell them that before they come in and say, hey, I've been thinking. Hey, listen. Steve Furtick said, the 2 worst words a man can put together in his life is I thought. I said, I got a bunch of them. I thought. God almighty. Listen to me. I'm telling you, before you tell me, if you don't do the basics, you're going to be a disaster. People say, what do you do if a person tells you that they just going to sell for a while and not recruit? I go, I don't know. I've never had that happen to me. Not with a guy I'm talking to, because when I first talked to him, I talked about the basics, right? Because after I done talked to him about the basics, and he don't want to do the basics to me, he might as well be talking to the hand, because the face ain't listening. You see how I'm doing that? Like, you might as well be talking to the hand, because the face ain't listening. You say, well, then what do you do when they talk? I go, And I'm thinking to myself, you think I'm stupid. I ain't stupid. I'm not working with stupid people and trying to build me a big business. That's what I'm thinking inside. I don't say that to what you say to them. I go like, oh, because see, if I was you, that's what I would do. And I'm thinking to myself, if I was stupid, that's what I would do. But I ain't. Does that make sense? Like I tell them up front, these are the things we're going to do. You say, how early in a relationship? Right now. Right now. Or as soon as I can get in front of them. Or as soon as I get on the phone. So I asked James Hill, I said, bro, if you don't get free referrals, you're going to have to be buying leads. And that's going to cost you, and you're going to blame me, and it ain't my fault. It's you because you're hard-headed. He said, sir, I just want to let you know, I'm going to get, I got referrals. I got referrals. I said, okay, don't stop. And I said, you got to find the money, green sheets, and you got to recruit while you're in the house. You got to get good when you get a check. There's 4 things. You got to get a check, you got to get referrals, you got to get recruits, and you got to get a green sheet. And I'll teach you. I'll give you audios. I will chat with you about it, but you got to recruit. People say, what if I just don't want to sell? I'll be like, you don't want to fail, do you? You don't want to stop. You don't want to be terrible, do you? Please, God, tell me you don't want to be terrible. He'd be like, no, I just been thinking. Oh, God, you put those words together. I've been thinking. Like, that's not your job. You're the do guy, not the think guy. We didn't thought it out earlier. We've been doing this for 27 years. Been in insurance for 20. Had this business for 18. We don't need you to come in here and been in 13 minutes and tell us what you think. They don't let us slap like they used to, but they, that's the way I grew up. I say something wrong with my daddy, I'd get up off the floor right after I got through saying it. Broke me. Goat says you can't do that, but sometimes I imagine it. In my imagination, their head goes, slobber coming out. I was looking at them smiling. I just slapped you, you didn't know it. You with me? We went to see that Albright Medical Health Facility, Health Center, and I was riding back, and Spencer's in there, and I called, what's his name, Cameron, and I said, Cameron, and I told Spencer, I'm going to tell y'all this. If y'all are ever questioned by somebody with authority, do not answer immediately. You say, what if you're innocent? I don't care if you're innocent. You keep your mouth shut and tell them you need to think about it, and you're going to get back with them the proper answer. Does that make sense? I was telling my son this. You go, why are you telling me this? Because I'm telling you, don't open your mouth. If the FBI comes to your house, the SBI, the IRS, the Attorney General, my buddy Roy Cooper, say, let me get my stuff together and present it to you in a good manner. You follow what I'm saying? Like, don't just say, I didn't do it, let me tell you why. No. Keep your mouth shut. Just think about it. Does that make sense? People say, what do you mean? Like, I'm telling you, if a cop pulls you over, don't jump out of the car and run back there and try to explain it to him. Sit your ass in the car and think about it. Does that make sense? And when he asks you a question, you think about it and you say, give me 1 second and make sure I'm understanding what you're asking. Does that make sense? Like, don't react. Just stay calm. Does that make sense? So I'm telling my son this. What I call this is being an adult. You hear what I'm telling you? Here's another thing, being an adult. If I say, what time you get here, don't try to read my mind and say, you wish I'd have got here earlier. All I want to know is what time you got here. If I ask you how many dials you made, all I want to know is how many dials you made. I don't want you to say, you think I should do more. You don't know what I think. And I don't know how many dials you see what I'm saying? I call this is being an adult. Does that make sense? If I ask my son, I go, where'd you park the car? He'd go like, you wanted me to park it under the garage. I'd be like, dude, I did not ask you what I wanted. I asked you, where did you park the car? I try not to get mad like that, but that's what I want to do. Does that make sense? So what I do is, in the very beginning, I start talking to people about adult things. Showing up on time, dressing right, nodding your head like this. This is adult things. Does that make sense? Terry said something to me. He said, Andy, they girls, and we're trying to get them to be women. Does that make sense? They children, and we're trying to get them to be adults. Does that make sense? They're little boys, and we're trying to get them to be men. Now, you say, well, what if I'm a little girl or I'm a little boy and I don't want to be an adult? Well, it's going to be hard for you to be the great example if you're not at every meeting, if you're not reading, if you're not setting the example. I'm not going to let you, I don't want to be mad at you if you're not setting the example, but you know who you're trying to recruit now? Yourself. You're trying to recruit yourself. And let me tell you something. If you can't talk yourself into doing this, tell yourself a story. Say a story like this. Man, if I keep not reading, I'm going to be old and stupid like Uncle Rufus. I ain't going to have no teeth except for 2 or 3. And my wife, oh my God, I'm going to start reading. Because you think about Uncle Rufus's wife, and you don't want to be sleeping with her. Not now, not when you get that age. You know what I'm saying? I remember riding to my kids, I'd be like, look at that trailer out there. Somebody say, what them people do? I said, I don't know. We need to find out what somebody else does and do what they do, not what they do. See what I'm saying? In other words, what you do is you start thinking, I'm going to be 55 one day, or I'm going to be 42, or I'm going to be 60. And you think, how do I want it to look? And how do I want to live? And what's my wife going to look like? What's my house going to look like? Am I going to have a beach house? And then what you think about is think about your relatives are that old and how they live, and start thinking about that. Does that make sense? They're like, I ain't going to live like that. Yeah, you are, unless you change something. So now what you're doing is you're trying to recruit yourself. But do you hear the story about Uncle Rufus and his ugly wife and that nasty old house he got? Hey, listen, how'd you like to be 55 and clean your own house? Or as one of my friends says, doing your own laundry. How'd you like to be 50 doing your own laundry? I ain't doing that in a long time. I put on my underwear, but I don't want to fold them. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put them back in the drawer. Take them out, put them back. I just take them out, put them on, throw them in a basket. I ain't. You understand what I'm saying? I tell you why I like the Montage in the Ritz-Carlton. I get my toilet bag. Oh, it's bad. I got the baddest toilet bag. You know, like your handle on it, nets in there. I think like $185 toilet bag. You know what I'm talking about? When I got zippers everywhere. I got toothpicks hidden there and dental floss. I got all kinds of stuff in there. I love it thing, man. And you hang it up on the wall. I just throw it out over the counter in Montage. Just throw stuff everywhere. You know why? Because when you come back at night, what they do is they'll take a little towel and they'll set a towel out beside the sink. And by the way, ain't no one sink mess in my hotel rooms. And my wife talking about, move over, I'm brushing my teeth. You brush your teeth over there. I'm over here. You don't want to be my age, have one sink. Like you young, you share a sink with your wife, girlfriend. I ain't doing that, man. I prefer different showers, different toilet rooms. Sometimes we have to share the same toilet. I don't like it. Because if usually we have a guest toilet, I'll be like, I'm going to a guest toilet. You ever been in a bathroom don't even have a door on it? I don't like that. I'll be like, you got to go in yonder. I didn't like that when I was little. And if you sharing rooms like 2 guys, 3 guys, how'd you like to be doing it at 50? I ain't doing it. I want 2 sinks. You come back in there, they have a little hand towel. And they don't take your hand towel, they take a different hand towel. I think they got like a little truck thing. They take in there and lay that thing out, and then they just line everything up. I come in there, I'll be like, I didn't have to line up my deodorant, nothing, just lined up. You see what I'm saying? You see how I'm telling a story? That's what people don't do. But the story is, what do you want it to look like? And then what do you need to do? So if you take people through this, the stories I tell myself are frightening. Like, I'm not kidding. When I was little, I don't know, what's his name again? Avion. Is that right? Avion. I was thinking to myself, you ever been in one of them old folks' home? And you can tell they can't wipe with themselves. You know what I'm saying? Just the way they stand in the setting. And I'll be thinking, I wonder who wipes them. And I look around them people and I'll be like, I'm going to get somebody better to wipe me. I might have a lot of money. I might be rich when I get disabled and old. I don't have people coming in there and treating me, and then you watch these movies where they beat them and stuff. I'll be like, I'm going to have video cameras and stuff on mine, but with instructions. And then I'm going to have police watching. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I thought about when I was little. Like right now, I do private jet. It's crazy, dude. Okay, you with me? You got to recruit yourself and you got to recruit other people. Does that make sense? I don't like being frisked by men when you go to the airport. You might like it, but I don't. I'm not knocking your likes or dislikes. I just don't like it. Does that make sense? And I'm always scared that I'm going to get shot. And like one time, I had bullets in there. I thought I was going to go to jail. My private plane, they don't even look. They don't frisk. They don't look. They don't do nothing. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I heard I don't like when they scream at Chinese people, take your laptop out of the bag. I'm like, he's Chinese. He's not deaf. You don't know what you're saying. But if you say that to them, then they got something to say to you. And I'm going, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be in that environment. Because I never know what I'm going to have on me. One time I went to Australia, I had an apple in my bag. I thought that woman was going to lose her mind. Almost fined me $200. Just said, well, I don't know. Something about you're supposed to take fruit. And I didn't know. I mean, I read the sign, but I thought it was somebody else. I didn't know it meant me. You know what I'm talking about? I was like, somebody ain't supposed to have fruit. You know, she was mad. It was like a little bitty apple. And I was just like, hey, put it up. I didn't know. She cussed me out and let me go. I was like, I need to get an international private plane. I'm going to go to jail in a foreign country. That can't be good. That'd be like an old folks' home on steroids. What do you want it to be like? Football games? Listen, I'm more thinking about East Carolina, noontime, first game, 66 days away. How do you know? NC State got a counter in the Albright Medical Facility. I like saying that. It was 67 days yesterday, so I guess it's 66 days today. I took pictures out. I said, honey, we need us a countdown sign. And then I got to think about that East Carolina day. It's going to be a noon game. I bet it's going to be 104 and 100% humidity. Them non-engineers, they'd be like, it's going to be 110%. I said, bro, you can't go higher than 100. It's 100% humidity. That's like you're walking in water. On the sideline, oh, heck no. Albright going up in the Wolfpack den where there's air conditioning. Does that make sense? Like air conditioning, when it's too hot or too cold, I'm up there in the air conditioning. If it's comfortable, I'm down on the sideline. If my wife says so, I get on a $50 line with her. Choices, options, different things you get to pick from. I ain't saying money, everything, but are you being the best you can be? Or do you know you're cutting yourself? Do you know you're doing stuff wrong? I am telling you stories about these things, the basics and the dreaming. The stories about the bad and the good. That's what Anthony Robbins gets people off of smoking. You can change your life by thinking about what you don't want and what you do want. But if you only think about what you do want, it's not as good as if you think about Jeff Bright like this, because this is the bad. You've got to think about the bad. People don't think about the bad. They ignore it. They act like, it'll be good at the good rest home. No, it's not. It's going to be bad. And the food they give you, no. I don't care if I've heard old people say, I lost the taste. I can't taste nothing. I still want it. I want it to taste good even if I can't taste it. Does that make sense? I want the right stuff. I want it to look good, decorated, brought in there. That makes sense? It's got to be everything. I'm telling y'all, 100%, we're going to do this going forward. Find better people. Don't quit. And whatever the third one was, that's what we're going to do. Plug in. I hate that. But you know what I'm saying? You go to everything. Listen to audios, read the books, and come to the meetings. Associate. Because you associate with the wrong people, it will drag you down. I don't care who you are and how good you think you are. And listen to this. After you get drugged down, you won't even know you got drugged down. You just know when you look at your bank account. You just know when you look at the car you're driving. And you know when you're in that coach class plane. and you know your seats at the concerts, but you still probably don't know because you're comfortable and you're looking at it until you can look outside and somebody opens your eyes and you'll be like, dadgummit. That makes sense? Plug in. I hate to say it, but let's just quit arguing with it. All right, you got to tell people this. Love y'all. Thanks for plugging in. Have a great 4th of July week. I'll see you Friday. I'm going to talk to you Friday on the activity call. Love you. See you all later.